Odin, the All-Father. Are there facts about this manipulative tyrant that we do not know from the God of War series? Let's find out, and if you like this video, hit the like button, and if this video gets over 200 likes, I will make a part 2 to this video. Odin, alongside his brothers Vili and Ve, killed the giant Ymir, which was their great-grandfather. Odin took the flesh and bones from Ymir and formed the realm of Midgard from them. But during the killing of Ymir, his blood drowned most of the Norse world. During this Great Red Flood, many things drowned or was swept away by the flooding, which included many of the giants, which took a heavy loss, because only 2 giants survived the flood, which were Bergelmir and his wife. Just another blow to the Jotun, courtesy of Odin. Odin is also responsible for the death of Groa, the giant's knowledge keeper. One day Groa's husband went missing, and even with her foresight, she could not find him. Odin swore to help her find him, but what Groa didn't know is that Odin concealed the fact that he sent Thor to kill her husband. One day Groa had suspicions of this, and Odin grabbed her by the throat, told her that he killed her husband, and strangled her to death. And just to add insult to injury, Odin did not stop there after killing Groa. Oh, no he didn't. After he strangled Groa to death, Odin stole her entire library of knowledge and prophecies for himself. Throughout both God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, Kratos and Atreus had eyes on them wherever they went, thanks to the Odin ravens scattered throughout the realms. But what if I tell you that these ravens are ghosts? So I did some digging, and apparently the ravens we collect during the games were ravens that Odin killed and ate. Just a little food for thought for you. Seeing the need to expand Asgard's forces to prevent his destruction during Ragnarok, Odin gained control of Valhalla and the 9 Valkyries who oversaw it despite massive efforts from their queen at the time. He would go on to use Valhalla's endless supply of Einherjar to create an endless supply of superhuman soldiers for the Asgardian army. Odin cursed the Valkyries to remain in physical form, which is an unnatural state for them. After a while in physical form, this drives the Valkyries to insanity, which the only way to free them from their insanity is to destroy their physical form. After their insanity took control of them completely, they were placed in hidden chambers around the realms, which allowed the dead to flood Midgard. At some point during Odin's tyranny over the realms, Odin sought out to marry the giantess Skadi. Skadi, however, did not like this too much at all and refused. Out of just being pissed, I guess, Odin tricked Skadi into killing her father Thiazi by her shooting him down when he was in the shape of an eagle. She was so distraught by this, she then stayed by her father's body until she passed as well. To end the Aesir and Vanir war, and with a push from Ymir, Odin decided to marry his sworn enemy and leader of the Vanir tribe of gods, Freya, for peace. At first the marriage was great, but after a time Odin's true self finally showed, being the knowledge-hungry psycho that he is. Odin eventually turned against Freya, banishing her to Midgard, robbed her warrior spirit, and cursed her so she could not leave the realm, fight, or use magic against anyone else, even to defend herself. And the cherry on top of all of this was turning Baldur against Freya and making Baldur choose him over his own mother. Before Freya, Odin also married the giantess Fjorgyn, who was considered to be one of Odin's great loves, who, just for a tidbit, also birthed Thor. Sometime after Thor's birth, Fjorgyn mysteriously died, possibly by Odin's own hand, but this is just me theorizing, leaving Odin heartbroken and alone for many years. Despite his loneliness, Odin ended up in a relationship with other giantess seen on the screen who also bore him Tyr and also Heimdall. According to Mimir, Odin lost his right eye by plucking it out of his own head after Mimir gave Odin a sip from quote-unquote the well of knowledge, which was just water laced with a metric ton of magic mushrooms. While at the same time, Odin himself claimed that he lost his right eye after trying to look into the tear without the mask. This is possibly a lie Odin tells because of the circumstances where he lost his eye, and it could be kinda humiliating. Though it also could be another attempt to manipulate Atreus. Later on in God of War Ragnarok, when Atreus asks Mimir about this, Mimir tells Atreus that there was no reason and that people like Odin lie simply for the sake of lying, as a way of showing their control over reality. After a while, Odin imprisoned Mimir in a tree where we find him in God of War 2018. But do you know the sick and twisted part? Odin tortured Mimir every single day of his imprisonment, which lasted 109 winters. So, just for reference, if Kratos and Atreus released Mimir on the exact day that he was imprisoned, this equals Mimir being tortured for 39,785 days straight. During Mimir's imprisonment, and probably for a little revenge, Odin removed one of Mimir's eyes. Odin also searched for Brock and Sindri to construct the statue of Thor that we see around the Lake of Nine, where he could hide Mimir's severed eye. The dwarves refused, but were still forced to construct the statue in the end. And speaking about Odin's hold over the dwarves, the Aesir needed high-quality weapons and some mineral resources to give them a better chance to have control over the 9 realms. So, they set their eyes on Svartalfheim. But instead of conquering the Dwarven realm by force, Odin blackmailed them instead. Since Svartalfheim was in no position to put up any type of fight, the Aesir took time implementing industrialization of the realm by setting up mining rigs, harvesting ore for weapons, and fat for marine life for oil, all in the benefit of the Aesir. Odin is the only main antagonist in the entire God of War franchise who is not killed by Kratos, but instead is killed by Atreus and Sindri in God of War Ragnarok. Not really a sick and twisted fact, but I thought it was kind of a little good piece of info. Odin once performed a ritual by impaling himself with his own spear and hanging himself from a branch of Yggdrasil and bled into the Well of Destiny. While he kind of hung out for 9 days as a dead hangman, he roamed the realms of the dead and plundered the secrets of the World Tree. After 9 days, he came back to his body and basically learned very little, so he was kind of pissed about that. Over the knowledge of his death during Ragnarok, Odin eventually lost control of himself when he stabbed and killed Brock. Ironically, this ultimately led to his demise by the hands of Brock's brother, Sindri. What was your favorite sick and twisted fact about Odin in God of War? Tell me in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed your time here, hit the subscribe button for more gaming content.